Okay, so I wanted to ask this question. So the whole definition of sub-Saharan Africa, I was looking it up. For one, per se, sub-Saharan Africa is a lot lower than what I thought it was. Um, I thought that it was lower than Algeria, Libya, Egypt, and uh, West Sahara. From what I've seen, people have said arguably sub-Saharan Africa is lower than those countries somewhat, but only when they want it to be or something like that. Because they'll say Mauritania is not sub-Saharan Africa and North Sudan is not sub-Saharan Africa. And some people even say Eritrea isn't. Now, they'll say that, but then they'll also say that Mali is sub-Saharan Africa, Niger is sub-Saharan Africa, and Chad are sub-Saharan Africa, which is odd. From what I can see, the Saharan Desert goes all the way down and gets into a bit of Nigeria, the northern part of Nigeria, not the southern, of course. And everything above it basically is not sub-Saharan Africa. So that's what's confusing to me. And I've seen this on different maps. It's not just that map, it's this map too. It has the same thing basically. Most of Mali is covered. Nigeria is mostly covered, if not all. Burkina Faso, Nigeria have a good portion of their countries outside of sub-Saharan Africa. That's interesting because I always was taught that it was below Algeria, but apparently it's not. And I even tried to look at the definition because they talk a lot about the Sahel. And I looked up the definition of the Sahel. The Sahel actually includes part of Algeria too. So that's why I'm thinking, okay, I guess that is included with Sahara. And the Sahara Desert. That's why this is all the way down here, basically. That's just interesting. I never knew that it's like basically on the southern edge, all the way down is like where Nigeria is on its border. Interesting. That's an interesting thing. And then I also looked up like the native people there, and I guess it's true. Now this is the thing that's a little weird to me because I'm like, people call Sudan North Africa, right? And this is confusing to me because I'm like, if Sudan is North Africa, that's odd because I mean, like if you look at the distance, everybody, not Canada, sorry, Chad, Niger, Mali, Mauritania, they're all on the same level as Sudan. So how could Sudan be North Africa? That's weird to me. But what was weirder about this whole situation was, so apparently the natives of Sudan are like these Nilotes or whatever. They're not North Africans. They're not Berber people. All the other places I mentioned, Mauritania, Mali, Niger, Chad, not really Nigeria. Well, I don't know about the northern area of Nigeria. I don't really think so. I think that's just kind of like where there's a lot of Hausa and Fulani people. They're kind of like, they always say they're more indigenous to the Sahel than anything. So they're kind of like a combination of the north and the south and whatever. That's not the point of this conversation. But all those people, Mali, Niger, and Chad, and Mauritania, they're all natives. Their native people are Berbers. Forms of Berbers, but generally Berbers, like the Tuareg, the Temeshet people, basically. In Sudan, they don't have that, And then, from what I've heard, some people say that the Sudanese are Arabs or something, but when they take DNA tests, they're usually North African descent. Either way, though, Sudan itself is not home to Berber people. So why is it called North Africa? It's not. It's not historically or culturally in common with North Africans. You know what I mean? So that's why I just kind of find that a little odd there, you know. And then also the terminology of sub-Saharan Africa. I know some people said that that was offensive to them, but I mean, I don't see it as offensive. I think that there needs to be a distinction between the North Africans and the people in sub-Saharan Africa, or people who are not. They're not the descendants of like Berber people or whatever, the people who inhabit the northern portions of Africa. See, for example, if you look up the history of Berber people, they inhabited Mali, Niger, Chad, Libya, Algeria, and Mauritania originally. So in all those areas right there, I mean, like, if you're not the descendants, you're probably descendant of the people from the southern portions of Africa. So to me, I just think kind of like you should make a distinction, because racially, Berber people are Caucasians, and people from like newer people who are from Sudan, for example, aren't Caucasian. They're black, of the black race. They're beautiful people too. But I mean, it does need to be a distinction, But I don't think specifically the Saharan Desert really makes a distinction. You could see from the people in Sudan, obviously it's not a distinction because the native people of Sudan are black people, yet they're in the Saharan Desert. So to me, I mean, like, I do think that the sub-Saharan African term is one incorrect, because not everyone in the Sahara is the same race. Basically, there's going to be people who are. Some people mention, for example, in Egypt, there's a good portion of Arabs in Egypt. They're obviously not sub-Saharan Africans. They're not the same as Berber people, who are North Africans, and they come from Northwest Africa. And they're not the same as newer people, for example, who are black Africans who are in the Sahara. So I don't really think the Sahara determines your race. I don't. But I just found it interesting because I didn't know that it goes all the way down here. I remember one time I took my DNA test, my first DNA test, and they were trying to tell me, the guy on the line was trying to tell me that a good portion of my DNA results were in northern Africa, and I was like, no, it's not. It's below Algeria. So I thought that was weird. But then I got what he was saying. Now I see it. I'm like, oh, it's all the way down here, all the way below Niger and a bit below that. Though most of my heritage is in Nigeria, so in that green area right there. But I was just saying, like, I didn't even know. And it's kind of helpful because I always was confused as to why sometimes I get North Africa, like in Algerian areas, and then other times I get areas like, for example, Niger or Mali. Now I get it. They're all kind of a common people when you come to their native people. And also another thing I wanted to talk about was, I kind of feel like the reason Sudan is considered North Africa is because the people, for the majority, claim their Sudanese Arab heritage. Well, the majority of Malians, Nigerians, and Chadians, I believe they are mostly immigrants. They're usually not of the natives there. Basically, they're of the people from the south that migrated north, basically. Like in Mali, most of their population is to the southern portion of Mali. Most likely because it's more habitable anyway, because the Saharan desert is a little bit harder to inhabit. So, yeah, that was just interesting, basically, for me, that I found out. I was like, oh. But yeah, That's all I really wanted to say here. It's just like, the definition of North Africa and Sub-Saharan Africa is a bit murky, honestly. And I kind of feel like it shouldn't be decided by the Saharan Desert, really. But yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Like and subscribe, comment down below, and have a great day. Bye.